Do you ever have that moment while you're sitting on the couch or lying in bed, generally being useless, when suddenly, oh my god, other people exist? Other people exist and have thoughts and feelings like me. They are conscious and they breathe and they talk and they live lives the same way I live mine, at least where it counts. We all cry and socialize and piss. We all feel down at random times, and at others we all feel on top of the world like nobody can stop us and this is the best day ever, and... oh, those are people too, aren't they? The ones starving and struggling and going through the worst things imaginable. Those soldiers are children, like I was once. Like I still am, really. Oppressed, marginalized, discarded by society, and told they aren't important, or that they're monsters just for existing. Those are people too. They're conscious, they breathe, they have empathy where I've only had sympathy. I tell myself I can't imagine, but I can. I can imagine myself there in those positions if only I tell myself to. It just makes me and everyone else uncomfortable to do so. Because what can we do, right? Better to leave it to the philanthropists who can do something. God, why is humanity doomed to forever be its own malignant cancer? Also, aren't clouds wild? Monstrous collections of swirling frozen water, crystals of ice fractioning off into beautiful patterns, amounting to millions of pounds, just floating there, in the sky, and occasionally it just falls. Who would have thought? Speaking of sky, have you ever seen an airplane? Do you know how crazy specialized every facet of the idea of commercial aircraft is, yet we fly on the daily? In droves, even. The near century of inspiration and ideas, then innovation, all just to give man wings, is astonishing. Actually, it's deeper than that, isn't it? How many centuries of romanticizing the sky has humanity endured before that epiphany of finally flirting with it? Deeper than that, even, how many millennia of history, not just etymological, is behind the word, the very concept of sky? How lucky are we to even have a sky, an atmosphere, a sun to light it all up, and stars to tuck us in at night? How lucky are we to exist at all, to be born, to have a shot, no matter how slim, to graze its cerulean hues? How brazen are we to have done so, to have looked upon all that Mother Gaia had given us, and still yearn, no, demand for more? We turned our young, bright eyes, full of dewy visions of great gods and goddesses in their celestial palaces, towards the vast void above, and decided to venture there for ourselves. We desire a throne among the titans of old, and if we must carve it out of the very deities we once adored, and line it with the gold we enshrine them in, then so be it. Humanity shall rule, and humanity alone. We will not only crest the horizon, but rise above its mortal plane. Look at me now, man cries from his grand machines high above his planet. I, born of the earth, destined for the stars, shall make a home anew. And what a fool he is, to think it all so simple. The earth we seem to tire of so easily will be our jailer for a while longer, while we rage and wail and thrash in our immaturity. Or rather, it will be our nurse, beaten and abused, and not altogether unwilling to release the troublesome children it was beset with, but still keeping an eye on its charge until they are ready. It's quite a pretty planet, really, with its mountains and oceans and gorges and forests, a lone jewel among a seemingly empty vat of tar. We tend to take it for granted. Because it is quite an empty little universe, isn't it? A quiet, lonely one, despite its cosmic machinations. A whirlwind of silence only interrupted by our occasional cries in the dark. I don't want to be alone. We can't be alone. Please, do not let us be alone. Is it worse to think that there may be other creatures out there, or that we may be alone amidst everything there is? Or maybe it's worse to consider that we may not make it to find out. Maybe every nihilist that's ever lived is correct, and there really is no point at all, and it's all too big and grand for us to understand, so we might as well succumb to the unfathomable void. Just give up, it whispers. Look at all the destruction, the chaos, the hopelessness, and despair. Or maybe the point is to peer into the void, at its daunting swirls of unknown paradoxes and hardship, and carry on. Maybe I should look the void dead in the eye and give it a classic human fuck you and live in spite of it. Maybe it's all some test, or by pure circumstance just seems that way. Maybe the point is to look at all we've been given and demand for more, and when the universe refuses, take it for ourselves. We've conquered the air, we've tamed the sea, we've beaten back the greatest predator of our kind, and we've put a man on the goddamn moon. Trivial things like world hunger begin to seem a bit more solvable, eh? How disappointed with the billions who've come before, who worked so hard in the hopes of a greater world, be if we gave up now, on the brink of evolution into the stars, and closer to world prosperity than we've ever truly been. Humanity is unique, and so is existing at all. Life should be lived in not just hopes of better times, but in relishment of the times we have now. Enjoy it when you can, bear it when you have to, but in the end, life should be lived because we have the chance to. Something untold billions have never had. And then you blink a few times, look around, check the clock, and realize, oh, you've been staring into the middle distance for about 5 minutes. You get up off the couch or settle into bed, or generally resuming whatever it was you were doing before the universe revealed its true intent to you. Yeah, I do that too.